All right. So let's talk about this here. So what's the issue here? We have too many x's, and we can't just put them together because they're not on the same side of the equal sign. So what we're going to do is get rid of the lowest one. In this issue, it is the -2. So we're going to get rid of the -2 by doing its opposite, which is plus 2x. So adding 2x makes this go away. But whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other side. So I'm going to add 2x to this side, causing this to be 7x plus 3 equals 12. Now all you have is a two-step equation. Subtract 3 from both sides. Minus 3, gone. Minus 3, we're left with 7x equals 9. Then divide by 7 on both sides, and your end result is x equals 9/7, because you divided by 7 on both sides. And there's your final answer. All right, in some cases, they will make you simplify before you actually start solving it. So on this side, they have the distributive property. So 6 times 2, that's going to make 12x. 6 times the 5, that's going to make 30. And then we have 10x here and a minus 2x. We're going to end up with 8x, and that's going to be a 40. Now we can solve it just like we did before. We get rid of the lowest one, so that it ends up being on this side this time. Is it going to be on this side every time? Absolutely not. So the opposite of this one is minus 8x. That makes this all go away. So what's the opposite of that? Is minus 8x. So we got to do it on the opposite side. That leaves us with 4x plus 30 equals 40. Then we subtract 30 on both sides to get rid of this. And we're left with 4x equals 10. Then we divide by 4 on both sides. X equals 10/4. If you would have divided it, you would have gotten 2.5. Now let's talk about these two situations. So let's say you simplify it, and all of a sudden you notice they look exactly the same on both sides. If this occurs, then there are infinite many solutions, or all real numbers. Okay? This one, if you come out with 4x plus 8 and 4x minus 7, meaning they have the exact same amount of x's, but the constants are different, this is actually no solution. So if the x's are the same, it means it's one of these special cases. If they're exactly the same, it's infinite, or all real numbers. And if there are different constants, you have no solution. Okay? If the x's are ever different, you're going to have one solution. All right, now let's talk about literal equations. Here we go. So in this situation, we're going to be solving for a, leaving a by itself. So we figure out what everything else is doing, pretending that they're numbers. So a and b are multiplying, and then I'm adding 3. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Now AB comes down. I can't actually subtract these, so I'm just going to put, I know H is being subtracted by 3, so I put them like that. Then I have to get rid of B. I'm going to divide by B, and that's my final answer. A equals H minus 3 divided by B. And then here we go. Now we're solving here for A. So what's happening to A is they're subtracting x, and then we're multiplying by 4. So what we're going to do is divide by 4. So now I'm left with A minus x equals B/4. Same thing as numbers. Now we're getting rid of the minus x to leave the A by itself. We're going to add x. Which means A is now all by itself, and A equals B/4 plus x. Now in this one, again, let me see here. Now we're leaving x by itself. Now this one's an odd one because there are 2 x's. Okay? So what we want to do first is make sure that the x's are all on the same side as each other. So I'm going to move this bx over here by subtracting it from this side. So minus bx, minus bx. Now, I can't put these together, so it's just going to be ax minus bx plus h equals 7. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of the h to leave the x's by itself, so I'm going to do minus h. So I still have ax minus bx equals 7 minus h. Okay, if this h will work here. Then I have to factor out the x on this side, which means I'm doing the reverse distributive property, leaving the x on the outside and leaving a minus b on the inside. So now that I've factored it out, I can simply divide by a minus b because a minus b is multiplying with x. And I'm trying to leave x by itself, so I'm going to do the opposite, which is divide by a minus b. Divide by a minus b, and there's my final answer. So x equals 7 minus h divided by a minus b. And that's it.